Ladies and gentlemen,
I would like to begin by acknowledging and paying respects to the Boon Wurrung peoples of the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians of the land on which we are gathered today. I would also like to pay respect to the elders past, present, and emerging, and acknowledge all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders here today, also paying my respects to your elders past, present, and emerging. Sovereignty was never ceded. Welcome everyone to Live on the Horizon, a musical showcase showing off 11 amazing up-and-coming artists from Melbourne. My name is Andrew Speed and I will be your MC for today. Let's jump straight into the action with Mitch Kukiara. Mitch Kukiara is an artist that writes and performs acoustic pop and alternative music with the aim to tell a story and express emotion through both lyrical and vocal pathways. Being roughly new to the music scene, sharing and creating a style that resonates with everyone around him through music. Take it away, Mitch.
But it's not when you're alone, and I don't wanna be lonesome. So I'll pack my bags, hit the road, and take me. You're my competent. You can steal my heart and I return it as you play. and I return it as you planned. Oh, break me, put me together again, and don't leave me empty-handed. Midnight had tastes so sweet. I'm begging you, baby, don't leave me. Oh.
Amazing work there, Mitch. Now we'll throw it over to our first panelist, named Chris Pickering. They are a journeyman, musician, troubadour, and night tripper who has spent much of their musical life writing music and lyrics. They were born in rural Queensland, but they've spent much of their time perfecting their arts in Memphis, Nashville, Brisbane, and now they reside in Melbourne, working on their current project, the Chris Pickering Experiment. The group plays stretched-out psychedelic desert twang interpretations of Pickering's well-structured indie pop songs. Throw it over to you.
Thanks, Andrew. Nice to be here. And thanks, Mitch. Thanks for a great performance. That was awesome. I really liked the way that you put everything into the performance, in your singing and the emotion and what you were doing with the song. It was really, really great. I really felt like you were actually like living it. And that's one of the real crucial things that you've always got to do as a performer, and especially as a songwriter when you're performing your own songs, is to make sure that people actually believe what you're singing. And the fact that you were doing that, I think, is great, and it's a fantastic compliment to you and what you're doing. A few things that I thought might actually really help, because I really liked the song, and I felt like you had a great grasp of structure and form and how the song kind of flowed from verse to chorus and things like that. But what might actually help you bring out a lot more of the emotive qualities and what you're doing in your singing, in your performance, would be to sort of think the same way with what you're doing with your singing in the way that you're accompanying yourself to, so that you actually kind of, in the piano part, you're actually thinking, oh, maybe I can, bring the dynamics down in the way that I'm playing, or I could shift to a different octave, or maybe I can use more sparser kind of chords, or maybe even a different kind of line in the piano, thinking differently about how you're playing. I don't know if piano is your natural first instrument or it's something you've just adapted for this performance, but that was something that really struck me, is that, your vocals had this great kind of dynamic range going on, but your pianos you just kind of kept thumping away at the chords, and some more variation, I think, could have really helped with that too. And it would help create, if you find yourself doing more of this reduced format solo performing, that can really help turn something, turn a performance around. I can remember, actually, I don't know if musically it's a little bit disparate, but I remember seeing Damien Rice ages ago. It felt like maybe 50 years ago. I don't think he's that old, but sometime in the 1960s, I saw Damien Rice, and he was actually, when he was singing loud, he played loud at the same time, and then when he was singing soft, he played soft. He brought everybody really into what they were doing, and so finding that balance, I think, would be great. But yeah, it was a great song, great performance, man. I'd like to hear a really true version of it, I think, to really capture the emotion and everything in what you're singing. And I couldn't hear the lyrics that well, but there was some great imagery in there from, the snatches and stuff that I was hearing. So, well done, Mitch. Very good. And congrats.
Obviously you have to work on it more. I'm self-taught on piano, so I'm working on it more, but I really appreciate the comments and I'll take them on board.
Yeah, man. I mean, man, just to carry that on, you played really well. Like the chords were great. You didn't actually stuff up at all. You know, which is mostly the thing that we're thinking of when we're performing is like don't stuff up, don't stuff up. So you didn't do that at all. It was all great, but it's just something as you're developing as a songwriter and as a performer to think about. Hey, the song is great, but what can I also do with the way that I'm accompanying it too? So yeah, good work, man.
Thank you so much for that, and thank you, Mitch, for your performance. All right. Next up, we have a Triple J darling, Sydney Rose. She is Melbourne's new kid on the block, having only launched her artist project in March of this year. Sydney Rose has already made waves with her debut single Bullet reaching #1 on the Unearthed charts. The singer is quickly building a reputation for her honest lyricism and is branded as one to watch in 2021. Take it away, Sydney.
Must not have been so vital with your hands all over me. And though I had no say, your family is still checking up on me. So I'll go back to bullet, 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 bullet that I dodged. I'm just thinking you're a bullet, 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 bullet that I dodged. So fake till final, when it's your priority. Must not have been so vital when your hands. How can I move past this table we set for two? How am I meant to be happy for you? Guess I should take off the dress. Would hate to dirty it before 2022. Seeing your sister in white. Oh, I'd be lying if I said I was fine. Seeing your sister's wild, but all in good time. I know I'll be fine, 'cause I just want you. Oh, I just want you. How do I move back and forth from this constant pull? Never quite reach the shore, never quite say I'm yours. How do I move past the glasses from what hasn't even started? Seeing your sister in white. Oh, I'd be lying if I didn't cry. Seeing your sister is wild, but all in good time. I know I'll be fine, 'cause I just want you. Hey, I just want you. I just want nothing more than that. The dreams that we have of me at the mercy of your hands. I just want your tender touch. It's more than enough, and it's all that I ever wanted. And so we'll watch from afar as everyone else keeps living our fantasy out. But I just want you. Oh, I just want you. can I move past this table we set for two? How do I let go of all control?
Amazing, beautiful and soulful. We'll chuck it straight over to you, Chris.
To me. Okay, thanks, Andrew. That was awesome, Sydney. Lovely singing. Oh man, I really loved your vocals and the way that you carried the story in that song. It was really, really wonderful, and I loved the lyrics too. The lyrics had some great imagery in them. You kept returning to the white dress, and I thought that was a really great thing to do in the pre-chorus, to keep reminding us of that imagery and where you were kind of placed in the song too, as the singer, that is. So yeah, it was fantastic. Singing was great. Everything was good. The one thing that I kind of thought is I loved how this is what it sounded like to me anyway. I loved how the chorus actually really sounded like, the first time you sang it, it sounded like a sigh. Like it sounded like you go, I just want you, as though you're kind of resigned to this inevitable disappointment in the lyrics, and the music really carried that really well. The next time you sang it, I felt like, I wanted a little bit more intensity in the way that you sang it. So maybe even like a change in the phrase, or to lift it up an octave or something like that, to kind of generate a little bit more intensity in the chorus each time you sing it, so that the emotion is kind of, because each time you repeat that pre-chorus, it gains weight, right? And each time you repeat a chorus, it gains weight. But if the chorus doesn't necessarily change in the emotion, then you're not really, I don't feel like you're actually communicating the way that you're feeling as the song's progressing as well as you probably could. So I'd be interested, for you to experiment with that, to see, hey, what if I actually sang that up the octave the second time, and then what if I sang that up the octave the last time and sang it with a little bit more, like the first time you sing it in your head voice and your falsetto, so it's a nice soft, soft tone, really kind of emphasizing that resignation, disappointment. And then the last time you sing it, really go for it and maybe belt it, if it's at the top of your range, to kind of get that emotion across. It might be a bit over the top and you may not like it, and if you don't like it, don't do it. But yeah, I thought that could be an interesting way of keeping the narrative and the story kind of just building and building and building. But otherwise, yeah, it was fantastic. It was really, yeah, I really enjoyed the performance. So congrats, well done.
Thank you so much. That's so helpful. It's a newbie, just written in the last week, so it's it's
Cool.
really helpful to get feedback on. So thank you. Yeah.
Awesome, well done. Thanks for playing.
Thank you so much for that too, Chris. Next up, we have Red Radaza. Red Radaza is a 25-year-old singer, songwriter, and performer who came to Australia when he was 18 years old from the Philippines. Red is studying a Bachelor of Music at JMC Academy. He writes and performs his own songs. His genre is a mix of indie and slow music. Let's chuck it straight over to Red.
It's clear, I wonder, dear, if you'd stay with me all through the night. It's all I'm looking for, a simple guy. Thinking about your open kisses, smiling back. That our love is saying goodbye. Say something, giving up your. Sorry that I couldn't get to you. Whoa.
Hey everybody, my name is Red Radaza, and I wrote this song because of COVID-19, because of people who passed away and families that can't be there with them. So it's called Remember. Thank you. Remember the pictures you took when we met? The room was so dark and the place was a mess. Get wine on my hand when you said it's time to take picture of us in a Polaroid square. Remember the band? We went for a treat the first time we saw a golden brass scream. We were in awe till they finished and leave. With you I contently fulfilled all my orchestral dream. Oh, my golden orchestral dream. You said you were tired and nothing really matters. It's all done now. You said you were tired and nothing really matters. It's all done now. It's our time gone. Remember all the pictures in a Polaroid square. Remember all the band we went for a treat. Remember, 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 remember. You said you were tired and nothing really matters. It's all done now. You said you were tired and nothing really matters. It's all done now. It's our time gone. All the band we went for a treat. Remember, 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 oh, remember, 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 oh. You said you were tired and nothing really matters. You said you were tired, nothing really matters. Remember the pictures you took when we met? The room was so dark and the place was a mess. Remember the band? We went for a treat the first time we saw our golden brass scream. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
absolutely blew me away there. Once again, that was Red Radaza, a 25-year-old acoustic act from the Philippines. I absolutely loved that one, and we are going to throw it straight over to you now, Chris.
Thanks, Andrew. Red, nice work, man. A good song too. I haven't heard that one. And full disclaimer, Red is a JMC student, so I'm reasonably familiar with him and what he does. So, good shirt for one thing. Red is fantastic shirt. Excellent on the shirt front, as usual, and on the hair front. But talking about the music, it's a great song. Like the imagery in the lyrics in the first two verses are really great. You know, you're talking about going to the concert and all of these things that are really putting us in the place of the song. So all of that stuff works really, really well. And then you did that dynamic drop in the pre-chorus, which I actually initially thought was the bridge. And the reason I thought it was the bridge is that when the chorus actually hit, I was like, oh, this is the chorus. But then it actually took ages to get to that chorus. It took a long time to actually get there. So I wonder if maybe you could in thinking about the song again, you could actually rethink, maybe I can introduce that chorus, even if it's maybe the first line or something, just a little bit, because it's quite central to the theme of the song, right? But because we take so long to it, we don't actually really understand that until the song's halfway done. Dynamics and stuff you're really across, like you were dropping in that pre-chorus, and then you really gave a lift in the bridge. And overall, structurally, apart from that first chorus coming quite late, I thought it worked really well. It was a great balance, and the changes and everything were good. There could maybe be a little bit less in parts, I thought. Like, you could drop back to even less, a little bit more, less more, if that makes sense. The other thing I thought is that in the bridge and the chorus, the way you're kind of approaching the last bit is that you're really putting a lot of emotion into it. And it almost kind of sounds like anger and frustration and all of that kind of stuff. And I was just internally, I was sort of thinking, is that actually what you mean in the song and in the delivery of the song? Do you act when you're saying remember, this situation? Is anger or this kind of expression, is that actually where you're coming from with it? Because it sort of felt like maybe that was slightly over the top, but that was just me thinking of it. If you're actually coming at it from a different angle, or there's something that I wasn't quite picking up, then you can ignore that. But I was just kind of thinking that maybe it didn't need to feel like you were really going for it so much, if that made sense. But otherwise, great work, man. It's a good song.
Thank you, Chris.
Good work.
Thank you so much for that one, Chris. Next up, we have Jennifer Lilly. Jennifer Lilly is an R&B and soul artist from the northeast Melbourne. She's been performing live since 2015. Her repertoire mostly consists of original music, and she's been writing her whole life. In 2017, Jennifer released an EP of 5 original songs, and since then has been developing and honing her skills to become the artist that she is today. Jennifer was also the recipient of a Box Hill Vocal Excellence Award in 2018 and was also the first place winner of the Banyule Has Talent competition. Let's throw it straight over to her.
Talk about I'm falling again, I'm falling again, I'm falling. Said you care. Tell me to stay, I'll stay. 'Cause I love you in every way. Yeah, I'll make assumptions about why you switched your homeroom, but I think it's 'cause of me. Betty, one time I was riding on a skateboard when I passed your house. It's like
Call at 1 a.m. Will you stay this way forever? Wanna know where you'll end up. Stay in my mind this way. Don't leave me with nothing left. Find yourself in the morning sky. Light up a cigarette or three. Smoke in the sun while it lights up your face. You're such a dream to me. Oh, I wish it was 1953, where I'd rather go. Before all the highs and before all the lows, I wish you were Marlon Brando. Sweet like sugar in a kiss goodnight, but with the bitter aftertaste. So I take 2 shots to ease the pain. Darling, you'll put me in my grave. Stay in my mind this way. Don't leave me with nothing left. Find yourself in the morning sky. Light up a cigarette or 3. Smoke in the sun while it lights up your face. You're such a dream to me. Oh, I wish it was 1953, where I'd rather go. Before all the highs and before all the lows, I wish you were Marlon Brando. I never found nothing in this world for me. I always felt too much, but that's all in the past, you see. So I put on an old movie with Marlon Brando. Brando. Marlon Brando.
Beautiful work there from Jennifer Lilly. Now, you can find all of her work online at Facebook, SoundCloud, and YouTube under the name Jennifer Lilly. We'll throw it right over to you there, Chris. Oh, I'm sorry, actually. We're going to move on to our second panelist now. Our second panelist is Evelyn Ida Morris, an ARIA-nominated film composer and multi-instrumentalist celebrated for their dexterity across multiple different instruments and their complex and structurally adventurous compositions. In 2014, having already released several of their own albums under the name Pikelet, Morris co-founded Listen, an advocacy group focused on creating discourse around gender diversity and politics in Australian music. Over to you, Evelyn.
Thank you. Hello. I wanted to say, first of all, that I don't want any of my comments to be taken as some kind of rule, because I feel like everyone should do their own style of songwriting and not be too concerned with what other people think it should be. So just take that all alongside everything. And I'm not saying that because I'm about to say something awful. I actually really loved the song. I love the production as well. I love the backing ground, like the drums were amazing. I wasn't really expecting it, I guess, because everyone's been doing solo up until now. And I was really impressed with that production. And I also really love the style of singing. Like, I love that you picked a kind of genre and a theme, and then your song really reflected that. Like, it had the jazzy kind of vibes of somebody from the 50s. Plus, I loved how, like, your performance was really stoic. You were really chill the whole time. And I was like, I never look like that. I always look really nervous. So that was amazing too. One thing I was wondering about was just the choice of Marlon Brando specifically, or like the idea of going back to the 50s. Just because Marlon Brando was like also a civil rights activist, I think. And so I was like, oh, wait a second. Do we want to go back to the 50s when everyone was like way more racist than they are now? But that's, I guess, not really the point of the song. The point of the song is to have a nice time imagining like a fantasy from the past. And I feel like it did that. But do you want to say something back? Because I don't want to just talk at you.
Yeah, just based on what you just said. The idea behind it was like, there's this girl, she's in a relationship. She sees all these movies from the 50s and she wishes she could go back and just like live in the 50s and have this relationship with some dreamy movie type character, when in reality that's not what it would have been like at all. And she's just like, she's got this huge fantasy that would not be like reality if she was in the 50s.
I totally get it. And I think that's well communicated as well with the style of the song. Like, to me, it feels like it's this kind of dreamy world with the guitar being like almost bossa nova-y. And I just thought it was a really great job. And did you do all the production yourself as well, or was it?
I wish. I had a lot of help from my friend Ezekiel. He works in a studio in Oakley, and he's helped me a lot with producing the song. And he's actually helping me produce an EP right now.
Awesome. And I also thought the main thing I liked about it was the melodic style. It didn't feel like it was ever settling into any kind of repetition, which I often find a bit tiresome. So it was like, I felt engaged melodically the whole time. And I loved also the fact that the dynamics sort of broke down at different times and went back straight, like just to the drums, and then those backing vocals came in right at the end. Yeah, I think overall it was a really amazing song, and I think you performed it really well. It was very consistent.
Thank you so much. It was nice to kind of meet you.
Yeah. Great work, and I also just wish I had the confidence that you have of you just look like a pro.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Evelyn.
Cheers.
Next up, we have a rapper, our first rapper for the night. This is it. This is our generation, and we all need to go above and beyond to reach out and spread positivity. In what is a dark place for some, mental health is getting worse. Spread kindness. Please show Regen support in listening to a message and a story of awareness we can all get behind. This is going to be some mental stuff, and with your help, we can get an album sharing this journey. Follow him as we journey to a higher state of mind. This is Regen.
I've been focusing on maintaining rhythm, developed a motoring training system, cause I listened, I gained more wisdom, every week showcasing my mission with rap, to spread positivity, dropping track after track, attack the microphone, receiving lyrical genius with the thesis to spread love like Jesus. Lyrical nerd, only see our part is my anxieties. I strip away like chivalry, but the modern day forms of distancing from the norm, quicker than delivery. Sick of the mystery, will I ever be on this TV? Allowed them to shape me, this fake me, build up insecurities that feed up my purity. With therapy, aid these anxieties, primarily this present moment. The only thing that keeps me growing, hard to bestow it. Intellect around the poet, notice my faith growing in my space zone into high growth. Letting mofos in my...
Light seems to fade away from me, like I drive blind. I cannot see which part of me I'm trying to be. I can't sleep most nights, cause my mind won't stop talking shit. I hate it, but I need to learn to love it.
Every day I contemplate death stuck in deep thorns. I mourn over the old me often daily. This slow growth is fading. I think so far ahead I never remain in the present. Anxieties are merely suggestions from a place inside where all things are known and understood. Don't be locked away, be wiser from quest took. Education, way too many textbooks on useless shit. Why don't you tell us how to numb our brains so extra receptive? Set us up with this ill mind, I can never unwind. Social media or a landmine. Why can't I learn to be myself? It hurts that I put all my faith in someone else. When I struggle with depression, you made me think I wasn't normal. Informally locking me in a room with two big dogs at the door, arms crossed, expressions were raw. I was masked while they unlocked my lock and searching for drugs to expel me. I finally understand why you jealous, cause I'm smart enough to not teach for a salary that cuts so deep. How the fuck do you expect teachers to care about kids with all their heart? Teachers should get paid equal to doctors. Sure, we paying nerds buckets to treat ill patients, but we giving teachers scraps to train the next generation. Why do I keep mistaking what's around me with heaven? Deforestation, making species extinct, cutting trees for a freeway. Another one for more of us to jump off. Mental health should be a school subject before antidepressants are sold at the supermarket. Giant pass bowls walking around, checking for their phone and wallet up and down. Numerous times, this used to be me before I journeyed to a high state of mind. No one fucking told me I had depression. I just thought I was crazy and better off not living. I used to beat myself in the head to shoot my thoughts dead. Violence all I knew. Never showing ownership a few times. I veered so far away, I saw death ricochet against life in a perspective way too sickening to type. I now keep my demons in a cave. If they come out, they'll be brave. On a rampage with an AK spraying like ejaculation in a four-way. Devastation far away, no expectations, set thoughts none. Never met meds making me feel dumb, but I like to feel numb. I love my mind when it's crazy. I love my mind when it's wavy. I trained my brain for 2 years with meditation and motivation videos. Now I know how to love myself at 21. When I should've knew in high school that shit was so cruel. Everything else has changed, but one corrupt system still remains the same. I won't put down the microphone till change is present. I was gifted by God to express to myself through my lyrics. I wreck myself to make simple things clear. When under the influence I feel nearer to a happy and me. But the truth is, it's a long ride back to sobriety. Cause the mind ain't meant to be tampered with, but it did from those who took. I would never give. Put money before kindness, it's like a business. Putting profit before its people. You're a recipe that aids stress. You greedy pigs just eat less before you have to wear XXX clothing. I hope you enjoyed this ride on my high state of mind. I know I'll see you another time. Till then, spread positivity cause it's priceless. Then watch your life get less fucking shit. And just remember. Progress is the key to happiness. And small patterns of behavior lead to big change. Be happy, you're better than yesterday. And do not forget to love yourself or no one else will. Do not forget to love yourself or no one else will. Do not forget to love yourself or no one else will. Cause you can't give away what you don't have.
Really changing the vibe up there. Really love the poetry. Coming from a poetry background myself. Really enjoyed that one. Once again, that was Regen. We'll chuck straight over to you now, Evelyn.
Okay, that was amazing. So passionate and so full of really raw material, which I'm a real fan of. I love it when people put their whole heart and their whole experience into music. And I could see that that's what you were doing, and I was really impressed. And, you know, it takes a lot of bravery to be able to share such deep experiences and dark experiences in a song. And I often, the only thing I worry about with that is that if people don't get into it, then you've put a lot of yourself out there. So I would just say, like, be careful with your heart, be careful with, you know, sharing all of the parts of yourself. But I still really connected with it. And I thought the main thing that I wanted from the song that I didn't quite hear was like some sort of hook or chorus that came back. And I know that not every song needs to have that. But I guess because there's so much content in the song, there's so many lyrics and there's so much information in it, which is amazing because I could never fit that much into a song. You know, I felt like I needed an anchor point to come back to. So like, and the one that I thought would have been really good is the one you sang right at the end, to not forget to love yourself because no one else will. Like, I feel like if you put that throughout the song, it would have really made it kind of hit home in the heart as well. You know, like, would have given it a steady anchor point and also a message that's like the real core value of the song as far as I could see it. And the only other thing I would say is that, like, I don't know how you rap that fast. It's very impressive. I cannot do that at all. I struggle to hold sentences together in most of my songs. So I was just like, wow, so cool. And I thought the production was cool. And I also thought maybe with the vocals, like when you're doing more of the singing stuff, you could try and play that a bit cooler, like, because you're putting so much into all the rap, and that's where most of the, you know, words are, that when you do the singing, you could kind of bring it to a range that's really comfortable for you and just be like, you know, kind of chill in those bits. But yeah, thank you so much for your bravery and for such an honest song.
Really appreciate your feedback. Thank you. I will take it to heart and then learn from those things, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. Have a nice day.
You did really well.
Thanks.
You.
It means a lot. Appreciate it.
Absolutely awesome feedback there. We're at the halfway point now. Next up is Patrick Nguyen. Patrick is a 19-year-old singer-songwriter from Melbourne. He is fairly new to the music scene and aims to share and express his passion for music with the people. He's been busking for 2 years in the Melbourne CBD. His style can be described as cute, poetic, and romantic. Some of Patrick's inspirations are Ed Sheeran, Bruno Major, and Jeremy Passion. He admires the raw and drawn-back aesthetic of their songs, and he hopes to make listeners feel the way that he feels when listening to these artists. Let's throw it over to Patrick.
I'll put on my Sunday best. You'll pick out your favorite girl from a paradise. Step by step, break by break, I'm reclaiming what's mine. Yeah, parking lot cover. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The necessary part is just getting the nerve, singing a parking lot cover, sitting next to her. Level 7 of the building, swear this parking lot ain't got a ceiling. Yeah, yeah. The emptiness amplifies every word. Such a shame you couldn't smell the cologne on my shirt. Parking lot cover. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I try not to mess up the melody as you sing the harmony. In this parking lot cover, I've been watching you closely. Don't you fall out of key, the one falling for you is me. In this parking lot cover, parking lot cover, cover, parking lot cover. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You took me home and we got maggots on the way. You still couldn't smell my cologne, what a shame. Let me park under your cover. Hey, hey, hey. I wonder if this is a one-off thing. If it is, I bet my ears would be missing you sing parking lot covers. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I try not to mess up the melody as you sing the harmony in these parking lots. I've been watching you closely. Don't you fall out of key. The one falling for you is me in this parking lot. I've been watching you closely. Don't you fall out of key. The one falling for you is me in this parking lot. I try not to mess up the melody as you sing the harmony in this parking lot. Parking lot cover, parking lot cover, cover, parking lot cover. Ooh, 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 parking lot cover, parking lot cover, cover, parking lot lovers. Ooh. Thank you.
Those have been some amazing artists tonight, and I think that might be the nicest guitar I've ever seen in my life. Once again, that was Patrick Nguyen. Jump straight over to you once again, Evelyn.
All right, that was so nice. It was really, to me, it felt like the words I kept thinking of was suburban romance. You know, like people sitting in a parking lot, maybe at the supermarket, maybe at the mall, and they're just passing time, maybe having a Slurpee. I don't know. And I thought that it made it quite a unique vision. Like even the fact that I really like it when people drop in lyrics that are kind of very now, like the fact that you mentioned going to Macca's. I was like, that's so good. It's like I feel like I could imagine being there with you too. And I just loved that you were kind of cheeky as well. Like the whole thing felt a bit cheeky, like you were just having a good time. And I thought that your mouth kazoo was basically the best thing I've ever heard. Is that what it is? Like it's like a... Oh, the mics. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I did beatboxing a little bit, so...
I love that so much. It was so cool. And it was like very... I feel like the thing that's really cool about your songwriting and your performance is that it feels unique, even though you can hear your influences in there. I reckon just keep leaning into all of the like things that are uniquely you and quirky, and you know, I don't think I've heard anyone sing about a parking lot cover before. The only other feedback I had was like, you know, parking lot lovers could have come in a bit more in the very last one, like in all the repetitions of cover. You could have snuck lover in a few times more, but you know, like that's just a stylistic choice. Yeah, overall real cool.
Cool, thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
No problem.
I definitely think it was very cute, poetic, and romantic. Next up, we have Ed Moon. Ed Moon is a Melbourne-based musician, soul-inspired singer-songwriter influenced by Leon Bridges, Leanne LaHavis, and Her. Ed is a trendsetter and was previously introduced by Matt Corby for the State of Music Introducing. Let's chuck it over to Ed Moon.
Oh, boy, you're gonna win. Saying, you're under my skin. I got butterflies within. I think I love you. Will you be my medicine man? Put your hand Think of all the things like what you're doing. In my head I paint a picture. Yeah, I paint a picture. Since I've come on home and my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger.
Hi, I'm Ed Moon, and this is The World Is Ending. I hope you enjoy. The world is ending, but it's only just begun. The war is starting, the blood soon will run. I'm trying hard to open up my mind, but it's hard to when you're stuck inside. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Mama, can you help me, please? Can you help yourself? Yeah. Can you let me out? Let me out, let me out, let me out. Oh, 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 well. Oh, well. Rules been set in place for a reason, but we can't do that. It would be treason to ourselves. It's not in my faith to do what you've told me to do. I can't do what you've told me to do. So, oh, 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 well. Oh, 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 well. Oh, oh, well. Oh, Mama, can you help me, please? I don't know what to do with myself. I'm down on my knees. Not gonna touch my face, that'd be a disgrace. Don't wanna see. Oh, can you help me, please? Oh, help me, please. Oh, 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 help me, please. Oh, help me, please. Oh. Thank you so much.
Absolutely awesome work there, and absolutely amazing hair, I must say. I loved the nice and upbeat vibe there with Ed Moon's music. Evelyn, over to you.
Cool. That was so great. I really... Wait, is Ed back? Are they back? Hello. That was really, really fun. I felt like straight away I was really into it. I loved the guitar tone. I liked it. It was kind of rough around the edges and like a bit raw. It felt like immediately I was struck by the confidence in your voice and, you know, the skill with which you're singing. And then on top of that, I felt like it didn't ever feel too polished. Like it felt like a good balance between a really kind of raw expression and, you know, very great singing. I thought it was also kind of like it had almost a kind of a frenetic energy to it, the performance. The only thing I would suggest is like maybe I wasn't really entirely sure about what the song was about until it got to the germs bit. But like it sort of didn't matter to me either. Like I do also like lyrics that are kind of ambiguous so that people can interpret them however they like. So overall I thought it was a great performance, and I also just really enjoyed watching you perform. I just thought like you look like you're having a rad time, and yeah, great job.
Thank you so much. Well, I wrote the song after the Karen in Melbourne was saying, you know, like I've done all of Brighton, and it just like made me so angry. So I was just like, the world's ending, so sarcastic, so angry. So it was just
I really
sort of
like
how
that.
I felt through the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
It's actually probably my fault as well for not really reading the lyrics because I was just enjoying the performance. But like, yeah, you could be explicit about that because everyone loves hearing someone bitch about a Karen, because we should be.
Thank you.
Great job.
You're a queen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that one, Evelyn. Next up, we have Mother Culture. Mother Culture are the brainchild of brothers Darcy and Spencer Ward. There really isn't much to say about these guys. They've released a couple of SoundCloud demos, a couple singles, and accidentally had a year-long hiatus, revealing the blissfulness of their mediocrity. What they may lack in pop sensibilities, they more than lack in their marketing capabilities. Nevertheless, their love for what they do permeates out of their sound, bound to indie psych rock. Their self-produced debut EP, To Be Frank, is out November 13th. Let's jump straight over to Mother Culture.
Something's creeping up on me. Hold yourself together, don't bleed. 'Cause something's in the water, it seems. No, 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 you make me laugh. Whistling to love. Oh, she knows. It's been taking me far too long to get my head in a state of being cool, calm and confident, enough to calculate. Does she really love it? The weight of my world falls down upon her every day.
Take it away, Ernie.
Sally Cinnamon is sick of all these men staring at her hair and what she chose to wear. Mother Mary, please come and break my knees. 'Cause all the words you say, they seem to have lost their way. Polly's cracking up 'cause she filled up her cup, and now it's overflowing, and she's aching through her bones. Killing time, wasting life at peace tonight. Lola's lashing out 'cause her future's in doubt, and the cola ain't so sweet. You can't give her what she needs. It's killing time, wasting life. Cheers.
Beautiful work from Mother Culture there. I feel like these guys really undersold themselves with the intro that they gave me. I absolutely loved their sound, and I absolutely love their look too. Two brothers from Melbourne, just absolutely crushing it. Next up, we have our third and final panelist. Our third and final panelist for tonight is Kurt Eckert, and he is an established photographer, label operator, event booker, musician, and radio host. Kurt runs an independent music and design label and event production collective, Psychic Hysteria, for the past 5 years, booking countless shows at venues around Melbourne, including overseeing Mundane Mondays at the Old Bar. Alongside Maddie Mack, Kurt hosts a long-running Australian independent music radio show Homebrew on PBS FM and writes and performs in Melbourne bands Hearts and Rockets and Astral Skulls, also engineering all their releases. Chuck it straight over to you, Kurt.
Hey, thanks, Andrew. Mother Culture, that was a lot of fun. I think the first thing I'd have to say about that stood out to me and that I really enjoyed were the dynamics in that track. You had a really good idea of where to start, which kind of movements to go through and where you wanted to end up, and accomplished all of that really well. I have to admit, toward the end there, I was worrying you weren't going to play that last chorus, and I was freaking out, but then you came good and really kicked it out, and I really liked that kind of, that build up of tension and of energy and then letting it out at the end. I mean, I think that it's almost like it's expected, but you did it really well, and it did kind of still catch me by surprise. So I was really happy with that. I think that using those other songs characters like Lola and Polly and things is a nice little nod to kind of maybe some of your influences that didn't, maybe they came through a little bit in your genre and style, but I kind of like that little nod to characters of past tracks. And I kind of almost want to know, now I can't stop thinking maybe about where Lola did end up and where Polly did end up. And I really enjoyed that aspect of your lyrics as well. The backing vocals were great. There was a moment where the backing vocals came in, I think it was in the bridge, where I would have really liked to hear you both singing in unison. I think that would have really kind of cut through in that section in particular. You work really well off each other. Like, it's obvious that you've got a really great relationship. I didn't know your brothers, and that just totally makes sense in retrospect, seeing the way that you could communicate without kind of looking at each other, which is just such an important thing for a band. And I'd love to see this in, a full band lineup with a drummer and maybe a bass player would really kind of, fill those spaces that they weren't left, they didn't need to be filled, but I'd kind of like to hear what someone else playing off those keyboard parts would do with a bass guitar. Also really liked it. There's a real Australianness to what you did or what you're doing, but without being kind of overboard, without playing into it either. It's obviously just your natural, like who you are, just with the kind of your accent and the way you write your lyrics and sing them. I actually really enjoyed this track a lot, and I think that's most of my feedback for now. I have more of a think and maybe put something else on the form, but I kind of did get a little bit distracted from making notes because I was kind of really listening to the song, which I think is a really good sign of songwriting, of your talent for it. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was very positive. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Do you have any questions?
No.
Not really, I guess. It was all pretty straightforward.
Hopefully it will turn into a band thing one day.
Yeah, well, one day we'll be able to play it with a full band.
But
yeah, it's a whole nother step. And, if you're working so well together writing those songs, like, just take your time, get what you want to do right, and then you'll find the right people and it'll all just fall into place. Like, don't put pressure on yourselves to do that. But if that's kind of where you want it to end up, it looks like you're already on your way to getting your own sound. So keep it up.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Really appreciate it.
No worries.
And we don't know if Lola or Polly are ending up either. That's part of the mystery.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Lots of fun there from those guys. Now, I'd just like to take a quick moment and talk about what this event has meant to us here at JMC. As a JMC student who has spent the last trimester scouting and working with artists to bring into this showcase, it's really, really been a great experience to meet the people that I'm working with and just really, really enjoy the culture of Melbourne and working in an arts academy for this, event showcase. So, now, next up, we have Tumi the Bee. Tumi the Bee is a Motswana poet and rapper who began his creative journey as a teenager after seeing his first rap cypher. Tumi's style is a vibrant blend of old school rap and spoken word poetry steeped in rich musical, spiritual, and poetic tradition. Tumi shares abstract ideas, philosophical musings, and real-life experiences, adding to his diverse appeal. Throw it straight over to Tumi.
Picture this day's lives through a slave's eyes. Chains wave way high. Paint train line to a needle track. Crack baby born to a nickel back. Rip split nickel sacks. Get high, come down, go home. Break bread, break head, break foes dome. Dog eat dog, the belly, the beast eat nickel. They bury
sky full of black holes. Stomp, never tiptoe. Family over everything. Focus over any foe. Focus over any foe. Word. Focus over any foe. Black flag, black blood. Souls black as ash floods. Live free, die free, high till the end comes.
My name is Tumi the Bee, and you are live at JMC. Hit me, baby. This is a little song about Brunswick because that's where I'm from, and that's where I was living until recently. That's just how we do it. And we love it. Can you tell me a bit of the beat? Yeah. What's a quarter, what's a pound? Pick up sticks. I'm in 3056 Brunswick, and I'm lit, What's a quarter, what's a pound? Pick up sticks. Yeah. Roll up at the liquor store, pull up at the spot to score. Roll up at the liquor store, Popo got me in the scope. Burn City burn and I came too far. Come around here, better bring that ya. Can't see me with the eyes on teeth. Can't see me with the visine vibe too big. Rap money don't come light, but the man made bang. Studio bang, stash in the bank. Man, that's with a handful of dank. Dang, I need that love, I need that buzz. I work too hard, I need that love, I need that buzz. You need pay up, run up on the scene with a team bar none. Make a villain go throw peace sign up. Make a nigga wanna turn a Machiavelli rapper like a competitor in the belly of the beast with a good die young. Really have a little. That's just how we do it in the 3056. What's a quarter, what's a pound? Pick up sticks. That's just how we do it in the 3056. Pineapples for the loud, what a flip. That's just how we do it in the 306. Pineapples for a loud, what a flip. That's just how we do it in the 3056. Scheming on that 21st century design. I ain't really lying on this, I feel like ducking Mikey Fines. I ain't paid to ride, but I pay to rhyme. And I play for keeps, leave homegirl with me. Keep your eyes on me, talk on my heart, not on my tat. You will find out what it's like when we jack 'em. Try on number the hand when we jack 'em. Try on number the hand when we jack. Mac is a Mac 11, hella effervescent, ain't no way to tell it when we jack 'em. Mac is a Mac 11, hella effervescent, ain't no way to tell it when we jack 'em. Tearing up 300. Soul Gold is that 3PO. Stereo in my stereo. Soul Gold in my stereo. Paint the town. You are here for cloud. Why? Paint the town. You are here for cloud. What's a quarter? What's a pound? Pick up sticks. Pineapples for the loud. What a flip. That's just how we do it in the 3056. That's just how we do it in the 3056. What's a quarter? What's a pound? Pick up sticks. Pineapples for the loud with a flip. Yeah, that's just how we do it in the 3056. That's just how we do it in the 3056. Pushing my frame in between doors, running my way off the train thoughts. What am I repping my name for? They say you hustle in rain pours. Man, put my culture on the back, put my hometown on the map. Pull out my stats, put you right back in your place. Shut up your face, shut up you fakers. They fakers, the vegans, I eat you alive. House of the dead, ain't always down for the. Always I'm down for the. Don't let it go to your head. I don't want labels on me and my garments. I see that it's tarnished. I see that it's tarnished. Yeah, what's a quarter, what's a pound? Pick up sticks. Pineapples for the loud with a flip. That's just how we do it in the 3056. That's just how we do it in the 3056. What's a quarter, what's a pound? Pick up sticks. Pick up sticks. For the loud with a flip. That's just how we do it in the 3056. That's just how we do it in the. That's just how we do it in the. I got that white widow. I got that white Russian. I got that black widow. I got that Pineapple Express. Cess and excess. You know where you can get it in Accept 3056. What's a quarter? What's a pound? Pick up sticks. What's a quarter? What's a pound? Pick up sticks. That's just how we do it in the 3056. Yeah. That's just how we do it in the 3056. Yeah. That's just how we do it in the. That's just how we do it in the. Yeah. Bless up, JMC.
Absolutely amazing there from Toomey the Bee. Little bit of background. This guy actually taught me how to freestyle on a tram probably 3 or 4 years ago. So, a little bit of background on us. Straight over to you now, Kurt.
I loved that so much. I really enjoyed that. And I mean, it's almost hard to give feedback to that because you obviously know exactly where you're at with what you're doing and are really good at it. I liked the production as well on that track. Probably could have seen, I liked the breakdown and the kind of build up again. And when that very first kick and snare just like came in, I think I saw the three of us on the screen just drop with it straight away, like we were hoping it was going to happen, and it just came through so strong, and that just set the scene for the track. It set the pace for the track really well, and you know, just keeping that pace up is so impressive. The faster rapping was really impressive as well. Again, like I've said earlier, I just don't know how people do that. It's just such a skill, and I really enjoyed the lyrics as well. I think you've got something really great going here. I really like that track. Yeah, I probably would have preferred maybe production-wise for there to be a little bit more of a dynamic in it, like maybe a shift in what was happening in the background. But only because it's quite long and you've got a lot to say. But yeah, once that kind of pulled back a little bit and allowed you to step forward and kind of kick that bridge in, I think that made the dynamic like that I was kind of waiting for happen. So yeah, really well done. I really enjoyed it. Congrats.
Thank you. I can't hear myself, yeah. which is not new.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I appreciate the feedback. I guess the only thing I'd say is, what would you say was your favorite part of the song? I.e., was it the first part? Was it the second part? Do you feel like, I think for me, when I wrote that one, I just wanted to have something that was like a nice banger. It's for the club, you know, like, cause I think as a songwriter, I'm emo as hell, so I like to write stuff that you can sit down. Like sometimes I'll write on my guitar, but like I like also writing things that like really get people going. So I saw everyone I saw one or two people have a bit of a bop. So I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. How did you feel about the song flow? Is what I probably would like feedback on.
Yeah, well, I loved it. But those things did stand out, like that first kick and snare, that dynamic, and then dropping it back. I also think like the chorus is a great hook. I think that you brought it in the right amount of times as well. We didn't overplay it, but I was waiting for it. Like I wanted it when you went back to the 3056, and I can picture kind of a room of people like singing along the 3056 with you, like I kind of got that energy from it, which is impossible to do. Like you're on a rooftop, which is cool. That kind of like added a little bit of, a little bit to the kind of, trying to imagine you in a setting of a performance that's not just like me sitting in my home watching on Zoom, but I could really picture that chorus coming through in a venue and getting really into it. I think, playing with that, I'm a sucker for stuff about places I'm familiar with as well. Like my lived experience of Brunswick doesn't sound anything like that, so I can't pretend to like understand a lot about what you're singing, but those bits that I do connect with and those things that I'm familiar with and stuff like the I'm trying to find the lyrics here. I've got some of your lyrics here that, you know, avoiding the Mikey fines, like ducking Mikey fines and on the upfield line and like all of that. You got to play into that. People in Melbourne just love hearing stuff that they're familiar with, and they can kind of go and catch the train and the tram to where you're talking about. So I reckon focusing on that if you're thinking of like shifting anything. And yeah, flow wise, I think it was good. I think that the kind of the breakdown came at the right time, but yeah, you could have just maybe, I know you're obviously working on your lyrics so much and they're really awesome and your raps, but yeah, maybe the production could just shift a little bit at some point in the middle somewhere, and just kind of either, I imagine that bass is a lot more prevalent as well, like not just on these kind of headphones, which I'd like to hear in a club. But yeah, that'd be my only real like feedback to what to change, is this like one shift somewhere.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much.
Brilliant.
Cheers, mate.
Beautiful. We're just going to cut to a quick 2-minute break. We will be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Live on the Horizon. Little bit of change of scenery now. Next up, we have Ash McCallum. Ash McCallum is a multi-instrumentalist and songwriter who just wants to surrender to music on a stage. Her pop rock infused with elements of rock creates songs for the masses, but also songs for people who feel things incredibly deeply, like Ash. She grew up in Melbourne, however, moved to Singapore for 2 years during her early teens before moving back, an experience which gave her global outlook and great ambitions. Her ability on the bass, guitar, and drums, as well as singing, makes her a master of all trades. Let's go over to Ash McCallum. Amazing work from our first band of the night and our second last act of the night there, Ash McCallum. Absolutely loved the vibe from that one. Nice loud drums, some nice beautiful singing, and a beautiful bass line. Come on in, Ash. We'll throw straight over to Kurt.
Hi, Ash. I just want to say first up, I had a bit of an issue with the sound. I couldn't hear everything very well for some reason. But that's the fun of playing in a band, right?
Sure.
It's usually the drummers, it's usually the drummer's fault. Just blame them. Jokes.
No, it's okay. I'm also a drummer, so I get the blame a lot.
Yeah, so I feel a bit bad because I won't be able to give you as much detailed feedback as I would have liked to have. But maybe I can try and have a listen back and give you some more later on. I could hear the bass really loud, which I think kind of didn't help the rest. But no one's fault. I think it's just the mix in my headphone. But I just wanted to say that, like, you can tell, I think, that you've got a really good grasp of a few different instruments, like that we heard in your introduction. Obviously, you're kind of writing for more than just your voice and your guitar, which kind of came through in that track. I think the structure was really great, and I really enjoyed the kind of the triple vocals. Like when the three of you were singing together, I really enjoyed that. I loved the bit of guitar solo too. We haven't kind of seen any of that yet tonight, and that was a bit of fun. It's an important part of a kind of 5-piece band. But yeah, I think that you've done a really good job of writing. I've got some of your lyrics here, and I think that kind of theme through the chorus is really strong. I can really imagine that people singing along to it, and it's already kind of in my head as well. Like, I think if I heard that on the radio, it would stand out, and I'd be kind of humming that to myself for the rest of the afternoon, which just, I think, is a really good indication. Sometimes we can overthink a little bit about what makes a good song and what's, what the strength is and what we should do with it. And it's like, if you've just got a really catchy hook like that, and you've got a good song structure, and it doesn't go too long, which you've also done, it kind of made it a good pop length. I think you've done a really awesome job. So congratulations. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. That was so nice.
Oh, no, you're welcome. I'm sorry I can't give you more specific feedback on different sections of the song, because there were just bits that I missed. But I think just overall, I could really get a feel for it. And yeah, you've obviously got a really good idea of kind of what you're doing and what you want out of it. So congrats on actually achieving that and getting a whole bunch of people together to do it with you as well, which is another kind of skill.
A massive props to them, because I don't think we had any foldback that whole performance, sorry. But they knew exactly where they were through the whole song, and I was like so impressed while I was singing. I was like, yes, you guys got it. It was great.
Yeah, and that's another thing, like, you fed off that. You could see that you were performing with them. You weren't kind of, even though I knew that it was your song and it was kind of you that we're listening to, you could see that it was a bit of a band situation and you were playing together. And I think that that's a really big part of being a performer as well. You can write the best song in the world, but if you get up and you just kind of don't collaborate or don't kind of have that feedback with the other people you're performing with, there's, you just lose so much, but you already have that. And it's, you did a great job.
Thank you so much. That's so nice.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you for that one, Kurt. Next up, we're finally here. Our last performance of the night. And New Way Home, a pop-punk band based out of Melbourne, Australia. The 5 of them came together in 2018 to form A New Way Home with the goal of writing the kind of music they all grew up on. The songs that were stuck in your head for hours, that made our hearts beat faster and could not help to scream along to. This is the music that still excites them to this day. Nostalgic, retro, the music we used to play, not them. To them, it is so much more, and they're proud to share these parts with you. Enjoy.
I know we do what we
I do it all the time. And without the distance, the things we're missing have gone too far behind. You see the scars inside of me, backtrack to a distant memory. When I start to feel love, you'll be on my mind tonight. I hide away in the lights and smoke, yeah, I make pretend. Do you even know I need a spark again to try and hit the note? You'll be on my mind tonight. Attention I can kill, can we pass it with the pill? Do you wait for me like I wait for you, just to show how we both feel inside? Try to beautify a lonely soul will rise, fight the perfect fight. You see those scars inside of me, backtrack to a distant memory. When I start to feel alive, you'll be on my mind tonight. I hide away in the lights and smoke, yeah, I may pretend. Do you even know I need a spark again to try and hit the note? You'll be on my mind tonight. You see those scars inside of me, backtrack to a distant memory. And when I start to feel alive, you'll be on my mind tonight. You see those scars inside of me, backtrack to a distant memory. And when I start to feel alive, you'll be on my mind tonight. Hide away in the lights and smoke, yeah, I make pretend. Do you even know I need a spark again to try and hit the note? And you'll be on my mind tonight. Where will I find you? Love I'll get high to, write music to cry to. You're on my mind tonight.
What an excellent act to round out the night. I swear, I almost took my hair out and started headbanging to that one. Absolutely amazing performance there from A New Way Home. Come on over here, guys. And we will throw straight over to Kurt.
Hey, legends. That looks like a lot of fun. It looks like you're having heaps of fun with each other as well, which I think is a good thing to kind of come through when you're playing heavy in music. You know, I think sometimes people can take themselves a little bit too seriously in those genres and it's a bit boring. So it's really nice to kind of see you having that camaraderie and mucking about a little bit. But when you're playing, you kind of could tell you're taking it really seriously and knew your craft. I think it's really good when there's a front person in a band like that that's not playing an instrument as well, because I could imagine in a kind of more traditional live performance that you'd be running around and having, you know, a bit more freedom on stage, which can really add to the performance when there's stuff going on like that. And, you know, your voice is really good. It really suits what you're doing. I think that the only thing I'd say is sometimes when there's that many instruments with a lot of distortion and the drums, I liked the drums. I really liked the kind of, you could see you're holding back on the cymbals a bit, which I really like, because I think sometimes cymbals are overdone and they can create a bit more noise than is necessary. The only kind of feedback I'd say to the guitars and bass is that be careful not to compete with each other. Like, I think you can kind of all do your own thing in a way that shows dynamic and kind of shows you working together. And there were one or two bits there where it felt like a little bit like you were competing, not intentionally. I just mean sound wise and just as a listener. So that's the only kind of, I suppose, criticism I would give to that. And the bass sound, I really liked the bass sound, but it was really metallic, and that might have just been in the mix a little bit. But just kind of be careful of that when you've got quite a trebly metallic bass and then two guitars. There's just a lot of high-end, like, distorted noise coming. And sometimes it's good to, maybe that's just for that song, or maybe it's just the mix, as I said, but be kind of good to like find those places with each other a little bit more than kind of all just front, like to the front. The song was really good. I really liked, oh gosh, when that first chorus came in and you all went backtrack. More of that, I reckon, because that's something that you could see, you know, your influences are coming from a few different places, and that's great. And like, you know, it didn't sound like one particular band, but you could kind of see where you're coming from. And I think that kind of like anthemic, like punk chorus could really suit what you're doing. And you were getting there, like you kind of had it there, and maybe you're doing some of your other songs, but that was the highlight for me. It was when that first chorus kicked in. You see those skies inside of me, and then backtrack. And I reckon more of that, more of all of you kind of, you know, fist in the air, backing tracks would be a lot of fun in that. The middle eight was really good. That was probably the highlight musically for me. I really liked that bit. And it was good as well that the vocals kind of took a break and allowed that to happen, because I think sometimes people just keep singing and everyone just keeps playing all the time, and that just becomes repetitive. And I really liked that you allowed each other that space to kind of do that. And yeah, that was a real plus for me. Yeah, I really enjoyed it though, and you could tell you're having fun. Like that'd just be, you just picture like a small packed club just full to the brim with people shouting along to that chorus, and I reckon it'll go, yeah, I reckon you got something going. That's what you're doing. Well done.
Awesome, thanks so much. Thanks for the feedback. Yeah, it's great.
You're welcome. And you kind of got to look too, like you're, you know, and I know it's a little bit hard. It might just probably just happens naturally, but when I saw you kind of on stage, I was like, I had a fair idea of what I was going to get, you know, in a way that like, yeah, you've got to kind of look that suits your sound really well. And I think that can only work in your favor.
Awesome, thanks man, that's good feedback.
So much for that, Kurt. Now, I'd just like to take a moment to, first of all, thank all of our judges. Thank all of the people at home. There I am. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of our judges. Thank you, Chris, Evelyn, and Kurt for coming tonight. And for those of you that didn't know, this has actually been a competition so far. So, first of all, thank you to all the judges. Thank you to all the crew. Thank you to all the artists. And most of all, thank you to everyone that's watching at home. We're going to let the judges deliberate, and we will be back in about 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Live on the Horizon, everybody. The judges have set their votes. The counts are in. In third place, we have Mother Culture. Second place, Jennifer Lilly. And in third place, can I get a drum roll, please? To Me the Bee! Absolutely amazing performance, brother. I'm so happy that you came. Now, we know that you showed up late, and, well, sorry, no, not your fault, my fault, but you literally ran on stage as you got here to perform. How are you feeling after all of this?
Adrenaline. Thank you for the opportunity. I'd like to thank. Use the mic. Thank you to everyone that performed. Thank you to everyone. I didn't know that the production was going to be this elaborate. I thought we were going to go to your house. You were going to have some mates over. We were going to sit down. But this is actually amazing. And like even the lead up, you guys have done an amazing job. The social media campaign in the lead up has like the schedule. I think the scheduling of the actual promotion is probably what blew me away more than anything else. I had a lot of fun walking straight in and performing immediately. Probably done that once or twice before, so yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Sure. Thank you so much. So what you've won is a full day of recording at one of the JMC studios to get that song absolutely perfected. We're going to quickly throw over to the judges to give you a little bit more feedback. Chris, Evelyn, Kurt, the floor is yours.
I can't wait to hear that recording. I cannot wait. It's going to be sick.
Me too. And I wanted to say also don't hold back, because the genre can be as weird or as like sit downy or stand uppy as you like, you know? Just do your own thing.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I'd also say that like from my perspective, my scores were all super close. Like I was just so impressed with the effort that everybody put in with everything and all the performances and all the songs. It was really high. Doing this, like, you know, I have to mark people for a living, but it doesn't make it any easier. It's really hard to actually kind of put a number figure on anything, and you know, it's not like everyone gets a prize, but it's just everyone is a winner just by actually just by really getting up and doing it and putting yourself on the line like that. It's a really big thing to do.
Yeah, and I conversely, like, I don't ever have to score music, and it feels a bit weird to do it, because I also think that music is for you and it's for like people that hear it. Everyone's like version of making a song is valid. So even though we're scoring it and we're doing it this way, like, just know that I appreciated everybody's efforts, and it's just a real gift to be able to hear people's expression. And I really appreciate all of you being brave like that, because it's fully so scary to do. Putting yourself out there, I just really value that and your time and your effort. So judging's weird.
And yeah, putting yourself out there is probably the hardest bit, especially maybe when you're not sure, you can't see your audience as well. It's a little bit tricky when you're doing things online. One thing I was thinking when I was mulling it over in the last 10 minutes or so was really that everyone seems to know exactly what they are doing or like what they want to do. None of you seemed unsure about the type of music you're playing or the instrument you'd chosen to write or play it on, or your voice, or how your voice was sounding, or how you wanted it to sound. And that's incredible, because that is often the hardest thing, I think, for new artists to figure out. So that's what I would like to say to everyone. Just like, you're obviously on a path that you've chosen, and you've chosen well, and shows tonight with your performances. So stick with it. And as Ev said, just you do you. You know, it's always the best option. Just do yourself, do what you're comfortable with and what you want to hear. And there'll be other people out there that want to hear it too.
Thank you so much, guys. Absolutely awesome feedback there. Toomey, is there anything else that you'd like to say to the people at home or the judges?
Wow, that's a lot. I guess I'm always going to say the same thing I'll say about music. Like you guys said, judging is weird. It's always going to be subjective. I think my favorite thing about music, which I'm going to say to anyone that makes music, especially because I've probably done it for a little bit longer than some people, but also I've talked to one or two people downstairs and just here who've, like, I knowing you, like when I first met you, when you were when we met doing poetry, Just do it, man. Like, you know, like the journey is actually the only thing that matters. Nothing. The end doesn't matter. Like, just have a good time, because all you're gonna have in the end is stories, and you're gonna have some rad stories.
Thank you so much, Toomey. And I can confirm, literally when we met, he taught me how to freestyle, and he literally said to me, just do it, just go for it. So absolutely amazing work to you, Toomey. Thank you so much for coming out. And everyone at home, thank you so much for tuning in. The judges, thank you so much for being here. Kurt, Chris, and Evelyn, we appreciate you all so much. We all know judging is weird, but we appreciate you for doing it tonight. And for everyone at home, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope that you had an absolutely lovely night. My name is Andrew Sweet, and this has been Live on the Horizon.